my guest this afternoon, was in the brilliant it's kind of docudrama called Pistol. It was directed by Danny Boyle. It was on Disney Plus at the end of last year, and he played Paul Cook, the drummer, and he's from Newquay. Not Paul Cook, my guest, Jacob Slater. He's from Newquay, who's with us today. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Yeah, all right.
Nice.
Let's talk Pistol first of all. While we've just played the Sex Pistols, I loved it. I thought it was really quite. It's quite rude for Disney Plus, though. If I'm totally honest.
Yeah, I guess Disney are kind of broadening their sort of palette. I don't know, but yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. Very different to what I'm used to, but yeah, deep dive into the unknown for me, really.
Well, you're obviously a muso anyway, because you've got a band, which we'll hear in a minute. But you play guitar normally, don't you?
Yeah.
But you were a drummer in this one.
Yeah, it's I played drums when I was younger. I actually started off wanting to be a drummer. My sort of idol was Keith Moon from The Who.
Right.
Yeah, much to my mother's sort of disappointment. But yeah, and so I had a basic understanding. But obviously, it'd been a long time since I'd properly, drummed. And so yeah, there was a guy called Paul Clarvis who kind of whipped me into shape really fast. And yeah, I mean, it was amazing, really, because lots of the other actors, hadn't got any formal musical training whatsoever, so they had to,
like the Sex Pistols, basically.
Basically, and they had to step up to the plate in quite rapid time, really. So hats off to all of them as well.
So you get like music teachers coming in to give you a real crash course on how to finger a guitar, for instance. And the bass player and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was those.
It's got to look authentic, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because we're actually playing. Every time you hear us playing, that's not a backing track.
Right.
That's us actually playing. Which is, I think, fair, as far as I know, is quite a new thing. Like, I think quite often in these things they'll get the actors to mime or whatever, but Danny was very keen that we all be actually playing everything and that there's no real overdubs.
Right.
So yeah, it was that is all of us really, really playing those instruments.
I have to say the guy who played Johnny Rotten was just brilliant.
Yeah, Anson. Yeah.
Oh, he nailed it.
Yeah, and I think it's a testament to his acting, really, because he's so different. Normally, he's so totally different. But when he's in sort of Johnny Rotten mode, he would totally zone in. He was obsessive about it in a way that I guess you have to be to play a role like that. He had everything down to a T, which was amazing to watch. He was a really, really committed guy. Anson, so hats off to him. Did
any of the Sex Pistols who are still alive actually see? Did they speak to you guys about it?
Yeah. I've had the good fortune to speak to Paul quite a few times. Met Steve a few times as well. They were fans, and they were. Thing is, they always kind of give it to you straight. And I remember Paul saying, "Well, I watched it first, and I wasn't sure, but then I watched it again, and I thought I like it more, and then I've watched it a third time, and now I really like it, But I guess it's always going to be strange for people like that, watching
someone else play them,
recreated. And I remember, going through the drum parts with him and kind of looking over my shoulder. It's a bit surreal, thinking, Jesus, this is the guy that
actually did it on the original.
Wrote these parts.
Yeah. Yeah, because he wrote a lot of the music as well, didn't he? Well, I suppose as a group they wrote a lot of music together, didn't
Everyone
they?
kind of contributed. They were a proper band in that sense,
Yeah.
I don't know what Mr. Rotten thought of it, but I'm sorry, John Lydon. Yeah, who knows?
So it's fascinating. I really enjoyed it, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. If you like, if you like 70s music, if you like a bit of punk, it's a great story. It is quite. It's quite raucous. It's a bit sweary in places, as you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
There's quite a bit of, how can I put it, bedroom action that goes on as well.
Definitely.
It's all in there.
True to life.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a great kind of, I don't know what you call these things, kind of biopic, docudrama type things, aren't they? But what's it like playing a real person, though?
Well, there's kind of two sides to it, because obviously it's great because there's, interviews and stuff you can listen to get the voice. I was lucky enough to meet the actual guy, and there's some video footage of Paul talking, not loads, but so there's lots of stuff to work with. But then there's the added pressure of, especially if they're still around.
Yeah.
you want to do them justice, really, and you're never going to be exactly like them. And I think that's one thing that Danny said when he said, I don't want this to be, it's like a mimicry thing, because it won't work. You have to bring something of yourself to the part,
Right.
which was good, and that kind of put my mind at rest, and I wasn't sort of sitting around for 10 hours a day trying to,
Do a tribute act, basically.
Yeah.
No, it was certainly fabulous, and I just got to mention Danny Boyle. What was it like? Because I mean, this guy's a legend.
Yeah. It was kind of surreal, because when I was auditioning for the job, it kind of all happened by accident, really. I was kind of going through the stages of auditioning, and then it finally came to meeting him, and I thought, well, this isn't my world. Like, I'm not nervous. I know it's Danny Boyle, but I'm not nervous. This is fine. This isn't my area. And then I kind of came face to face with him, and you go, oh yeah, oh my God, so it was a bit of a shock, but he was really wonderful. He was very. I think the main thing I noticed about working with him is the amount of time he would give to anyone who had an idea to offer.
Right.
There wasn't kind of much of a hierarchical thing going on. He would give anyone the time of day if they had some insight on something or something to offer up, which made for a really sort of respectful working environment,
Yeah.
And he's just I just used to love watching him get excited about new ideas. He's like a kid in a sweet shop,
Yeah.
with sort of bringing this whole world together, and you can almost see the cogs turning when he's like, okay, that goes there, and this is going to be here, and then it's great, man. Totally. I don't know, I never thought I'd be doing something like that,
What made you audition in the first place, though? Because you got a band and everything. You're a kind of a surfer guy from Cornwall.
Yeah.
You weren't into acting, were you, at that point?
No, I didn't have any sort of major aspirations to doing anything like that. I mean, I wasn't opposed to it, but I just hadn't thought I'd be in that area.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine from the music world sort of heard about they were holding auditions for something to do with punk music, and this was sort of in between COVID times and or during COVID times, and I was working as a surf coach, and I thought, oh well, I don't know, maybe I'll audition, maybe I won't. It just seems like such a far-flung idea, but I thought, what the hell, I'll do one. And they seemed to like the tape and asked me to do another one, and then just went through the process, really, and it all came good, which still feels pretty surreal. Really. Yeah.
So we're about to play your new music. So what are you now then? What are you, an actor, a musician? What surf coach? What are you?
I'm a musician always. I think that's always going to be the nearest and dearest thing to my heart, and that's what I was doing. We were about to release our first single when COVID hit, and everything had to be shelved. So I would have been doing music anyway, and I've played music my whole life. So I definitely put that first. But yeah, me and the guys in Wonder Horse, the band I'm in, it's sort of this is our sort of year to make the headway that we've always wanted to. We're doing a lot of touring, playing a lot of gigs. We're actually doing a couple down in Cornwall as well.
You are, yeah. I noticed that.
But yeah, so this is definitely the year for the music, and hopefully the years to come as well.
Okay, what's Purple all about?
Purple, it's an interesting one. It's about someone who I used to see, actually. I don't normally write a song. I don't know if I'd call it a love song. I don't think it is, but it's just somebody who's, I guess, when you get close to someone or intimate with them, and they've got some, sort of a backstory. It's something you want to explore, and is definitely worth exploring in song if it moves you, and at the time it did. I don't really speak to her anymore, but it's which is why it's like interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something that's frozen.
So how do you feel about the song now then?
I just see it as a song, It's
Right.
just, I kind of we didn't play it for a while because it was an odd one, because I felt like I couldn't sing it authentically and mean it, and that's a big thing for me. Is like I have to feel like I mean it, otherwise I feel like I'm kidding myself, kidding the audience. But but then I thought, Jacob, you've got to get over yourself. Everyone seems to really like this song from the record, so yeah, I guess it doesn't really totally belong to me anymore. It belongs to everyone else, you know, who's heard it, and they deserve to hear it. So.
And you are going to be playing down here, as we mentioned. Let me just do a couple of these. So you're at the Dead Famous in Newquay on April the 8th, and then the Cornish Bank in Falmouth on the 9th.
That's the one, yeah.
2 great venues.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to get down. I've never played in this neck of the woods before. It's strange because I live here, but I guess it's sort of just always been considered a bit more off the beaten track than the main sort of venues. But the live agent said, "Is there anywhere you want to play?" I said, "Yeah."
Yes, home.
Yeah, I'd love to play in Cornwall, see my mates. And,
well, both of those venues are great, though. The Cornish Bank is doing so much stuff in Falmouth at the moment.
Yeah.
They're a really up and coming venue.
Yeah, I think they just had a new sound system put in as well, which actually was put in by my mate John. So yeah, apparently it's sounding pretty good now.
Yeah. So how's the band going?
It's going really well, yeah. We're just kind of gearing up for a really, fairly hectic year of touring. You know, it's pretty non-stop. We're going off with Pixies in Europe in about 10 days or something like that.
That's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm really... That's another thing that I didn't think I'd ever be doing, you know. And our drummer, Jamie, they're his favourite band of all time. So for him, it's totally mind-blowing, you know. But that'll be great. Get on the continent. And then got a headline tour in March, April. Then we're making a record in May. We're doing some stuff in the States. Yeah, it's just kind of non-stop to the end of the year.
You got festivals this year?
Yeah, quite a few. We're actually doing Boardmasters as well. That's another
home festival.
Cornish gig. But yeah, we'll be doing a lot of the major festivals this year. I haven't got them all to mind now, but yeah, keep an eye on the lineups and stuff if you want to come on down. So
for you now, it's concentrating back on the music as opposed to the acting. Have you got any of that coming up, or are you thinking about any auditions, or what's the situation there? I'm
going to be concentrating on the music for the foreseeable future, really.
Right.
Just because I'm in that mindset and I've got a lot to bring to the table in that area. I'd love to go back to the acting one day, but I think for now I'll just kind of pedal to the metal on the music, you know.
You can do that when you're older.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
you can act forever,
older and wiser.
Can't you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you're only a cool band for a certain amount of time, aren't you?
That's it. Yeah. Strike while the iron's hot.
yeah, exactly. So what's the new album going to sound like? What's it kind of coming together like at the moment? Well,
I think it's a lot more collaborative, because a lot of the stuff on the first record on Cub, which is what Purple's off and stuff, a lot of them were written by me on my own and then taken to the band,
right, and
developed there. So, but lots of these ones are kind of, the other guys in the group have been much more on hand at the time of writing and have had a lot more sort of creative input. So it feels like a more concise body of work coming from us, sort of
right,
4 people. It feels more personal to us rather than just me.
Right, rather than you writing a love song about somebody you're no longer with, that you've now got to play forever.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Awkward. Yeah. All right, well, it's been lovely to have you in, Jacob.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming in. I mean, the track Purple is fantastic. Is that a new single?
Yeah, it's just one that we put to radio. We haven't done a video for it
okay,
or anything, but yeah, it's kind of one that people seem to like it as an album track, and we thought, we'll kind of introduce a few more people to it, I guess.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. All right, we'll give it another play on the show for sure. And good luck with the new album when that comes out. Thanks, and you're touring this year. It's been great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Adam.
And do go and check out Jacob in Pistol if you haven't seen it yet. The Sex Pistols kind of docudrama, which is on Disney Plus at the moment.